Today, I'm using the best free agents I can find in career mode to rebuild Coventry City. However, there's a little twist. I'm only allowed to sign real life players, so no youth academy talents, no regens that spawn into the free agency. It's straight up real world ballers only. Now, considering last year I did this style rebuild with Luton Town and they ended up getting promoted, I thought why not throw the playoff finalists hat in the ring and give them that free agents only treatment. Let me make this clear, we're not stopping until a full free agents outfit at Coventry City are lifting that Champions League title. So as much as these OG players already on the roster are going to help us, they're not going to be a key part of the process. We've got to completely revolutionize this club. With this custom Gegenpress style, I'm going for a highly aggressive 4-2-4 formation. Whatever the game gifts us, whatever ballers decide to spawn into the free agency, like if only the free agency section actually reflected real life, that would be a major tick in my book for EA, but they've just completely neglected this side of career mode for like 10 plus years. And honestly, knowing them, it's probably never going to change. The free agency in season 1 is a joke, so it's probably going to become more of a use to us later down the line. Trust me, if you've watched my everything wrong with FC24 career mode video, you'll get what I mean, but you know, we've got to work with what we've got. So let's delve deep into the transfer market and find ourselves some unemployed ballers. We ain't wasting any time here, people. We've already got a bunch of deals loaded up into the pipeline, and I want to kick off this free agent signing spree by locking down a goalkeeper. I'm trying to go for new faces I see pop up in the free agency, like players that I didn't see in FIFA 23, and that's exactly the deal with this guy. A Croatian goalkeeper that was just crying out for first team football. And one thing that I will give EA is that they fixed these free agent transfer cutscenes, so I'll tip my imaginary hat to them as Labrovic gets suited in that absolutely funky Coventry goalkeeper kit. That is an absolute number there, as he signs on the dotted line for free. I want to ease you guys in and prepare you lot for the Mexican invasion that's about to unravel. But first off, we got to sign a couple of strikers here. It's going to be the Ghanaian and the Qatari up front. First off, it's Osman Bukhari, who actually starts out as a right winger, but I do want to convert him into a striker, and I'm sure he's going to cook up front with the big man Ali. Qatar might be a one-time wonder when it comes to hosting the World Cup, but their national team is still in the game, and Almoez on the back of his jersey, he looks serious and is going to provide a bit of experience in up front. Look lads, we have to take these opportunities when they arise, because we just never know when they're going to be able to be signed on a free again. So that's why I'm going to build out the defense here with two experienced 30-year-olds. We've got Jakub Brabek, the Czech Republican, 74 overall, and the Hungarian Adam Lang. They'll both be signed up on free deals, and again, most importantly, will provide some key experience in the championship. Sit down, Alexis Vega, FIFA 23's favorite free agent pickup. I think we've got a new king this year in FC 24, and that is going to be Jesus Corona. You wouldn't have wanted to be him from 2020 to 2021, but only a couple of years later, he's had his redemption arc, and the Mexican is one of the best. Tetatito. Okay, that is a absolutely stunning nickname. He's one of the best go-to options if you're looking for a free deal. He's got a little kiss tattoo as well. Like, this guy's just got a bit of character about him. Face scanned in as well. Ex-Sevilla player who'll be our franchise right wing pick. We might be going overboard in season 1, but we've got to beat out the competition. We can't wait until these lads go off market. We have to snatch him up when the opportunity presents itself, and these Mexicans will keep on coming with a guaranteed starter option at right back, Kevin Alvarez. We have to calm down a little bit on the high profile Mexican purchases just because they're putting such a strain on our salary budget and wage budget. We might have to sell a few players in the background just to raise some funds. So I've gone for a little bit of a hidden gem, more long-term deal here. It's the Kiwi Garbett. The center attacking midfielder slash center mid might be a viable option in the upcoming year. So Matthew, welcome to the club. Now Fiorentina have already expressed their interest in one of our top targets, Luis Chavez. No surprise, he's an unemployed Mexican, but we've got to strike while the iron's hot. No more delegating, baby. We're going straight in for one of the best central midfielders, beating out some top tier competition for one of our best signings in the window. This video right now should just be sponsored by Liga MX, because ever since the league's removal in FIFA, the free agents have just been infested with Mexican internationals. And the Mexican fiesta doesn't stop there, because we need to find Luis Chavez a midfield partner, and it's going to be his fellow countryman Eric Sanchez. Maybe related to Rick, who knows, but no doubt he's going to be a valued member to this Coventry project. And again, we're balling out on a budget here. It's perfect news for us because we have finally gotten our first sale of the video, and it's Callum O'Hare there to be making the switch to Leicester for 3 million. Not only do we get that money in the transfer budget, but that frees up a bunch of wages that we can then use now on free agents. Even though it's a mad influx of players, we've still got to think ahead and start wondering about the backup brigade. Who is going to be there in quality and depth when called upon? And it's another Kiwi. I didn't think we'd be signing a little duo from down under, but here they are. It's Elijah Just, and he was just there to be a fill-in for anyone on the right wing. He can also play on the left and act as a centre forward, so he is quite versatile, which is a tick in my book. And speaking of versatility, Jesus Gallardo, we've picked up a Mexican right back. Now for the other wing back spot. This guy in his prime can literally play anywhere on the left-hand flank. We need a new investment and free agent in every single position on the pitch, including the bench, just so we have something to build off, and Jesus Gallardo will be a brand new Coventry City man. Now, I might have dissed the FIFA 23 favourite earlier, but FC 24 hasn't changed anything. He's still here, ready to be signed on a free, and it's the best kind of transfers. You're shopping in the bargain bin, and you never know what kind of gems you're about to find. We've stumbled upon him again, and he is back here, joining the Mexican gang at Coventry. We needed a bit more star power in up front, and that's exactly what this kid provides. For some reason, they got rid of his 2D profile picture, but he's still got his game face, so that's really what matters. Unfortunately, in career mode, free agents aren't celebrated like real transfers, and isn't actually reported in the news transfer menus, but it still doesn't mean we can't raise a few funds, as we've had to ship some Coventry OGs out the door, and that includes the Portuguese Fabio Tavares. He's actually headed out on loan, but his Jamaican mate Casey Palmer is purchased by Southampton for 1.55 million. You can already see some of our targets on our wish list purchased by some real life clubs. Pisa swooping in, and my boys Frosinone making this challenge hard for us. They've signed one of the best centre-back free agents, Jesus Angulo. With some more sales underway and our transfer budget growing, it's just XLs who'll be moving to Leeds United for 2.7 million, and Jake Bidwell taking a trip to Belgium, joining Anderlecht for 1.3. We're not going to let that get us down, because we're coming in hot with our last random flurry of free agent purchases, and it's going to be a treble. The mercurial Moroccan Sofiane Boufal, who is just way too good to be a free agent. Roberto Alvarado, another Mexican. He's rocking a fresh mohawk for the culture, and someone who I think has turned into a manager, like Stephen Davis has retired to become the Rangers manager, but EA haven't really caught on, and he's actually still in the game as a free agent. It's sensational scenes unfolding here, and like I said, we're just going to take advantage of every little signing we can get. Usually I'd be a little more calm about all the transfers we make in the first opening market, but only utilizing real world free agents, we're going to have to wheel and deal our way through negotiations and be ruthless. As another Mexican who actually has a skinhead in his photo, but a mohawk in game, Alvarado is going to provide some perfect super sub energy. I don't know how we've gotten to this point, but we need a little bit of a leader in the locker room. As we drag him out of retirement, the ex-Southampton legend will be our final free agent deal of the summer. Now, with still £9 million left in the budget, we can use some of that cash to actually invest in our coaching staff and work towards getting these ballers playing as one, improving on this free agent Gengen pressing tactic, and working our way up to hiring some of the best in the business. We have single-handedly transformed this outfit from looking like this to this without technically spending any money whatsoever. It's Free Agents FC to the moon and back, baby. With Jesus Corona being gifted the captain's armband to lead these bargain boys, they have the rumblings of a world-class Gengen pressing coaching staff to work with, both on and off the pitch in every department. Now, the free agent fiasco tactic has landed Coventry City in third. No automatic promotion, as that went to Leicester and Leeds, bouncing back to the Prem. However, how did we fare in the playoffs? I don't really care about any of the other competitions, but the boys pulled through at Wembley in the final, winning the most expensive game in football, 2-1 against Preston in the big dance. It's top flight promotion, doesn't really matter what happened in the other competition, as they were knocked out in round 4 of the Carabao to Newcastle, and the FA Cup saw a round 5 defeat to Bournemouth 3-2. Who knew that spending absolutely nothing could get you a place in the biggest league in the world? Now, the unemployed ballers who he turned into promotion heroes. Let's see who the key protagonists were, and it's Alexis Vega. He took that diss I gave him at the start of the video personally. The Mexican delivering on all fronts, 31 goals and 8 assists, single-handedly carrying this squad on his back. We're probably going to have to pay for his chiropractor bills, as Haji Wright and the Coventry OG, the American striker, dealt some damage up front alongside Sofiane Boufal at centre forward. 12 goals and 5 for the Moroccan, 12 and 1 for the Qatari Ali up front, and Luis Chavez. We beat out Fiorentina to the punch, and boy, it was worth it. Top assist man, the Mexican playmaker with 19 goal contributions in all competitions, and the captain, Jesus Corona, one of the more elderly figures and key player in the attack, 6 goals and 7. Eric Sanchez, 5 goals and 6, and Bukhari in and off the bench, the Ghanaian with 5 and 1. As it was a valiant 13 clean sheets for our Croatian shot stopper. The free agency business has been a remarkable success down in the second tier, but will it carry over that same vibe into the top flight? The Premier League is going to be a tough challenge, so I hope there are some tasty free agents available for us in the summer. Season 2's market has opened up, and this is where we're really going to start to see how overpowered and valuable free agents are this year in career mode. What players and talent have been let go by their clubs who haven't renewed their contract, and what opportunities are available to us in order to survive the Prem. Money shouldn't even really be an issue this season. We've got that top flight cash at our disposal, so yeah, we're just gonna go ham. Now it's a new season, and we have all new targets on our wish list to go ahead and capture, and this market's going to exemplify just the range of players we're going for. Young, old, experienced, well-seasoned, or even a young rookie like this kid, Ambrosino, the young Italian stallion who was on loan, and this is going to be a long-term purchase. I'm kind of manifesting this one to be our next big hit. Hopefully, in the later seasons, he could flourish into a world-class goal-getting striker. And on the flip side, when you see a player of this quality with this experience on the transfer market, you just have to go ahead, no matter what his age. I don't know if you guys recognized him from his game face scan, but that's Raul Albiol. It looks like it's his game face from FIFA 14 or something, but he was just wandering on the market, hasn't decided to retire yet, so we bring in the veteran Spaniard on a free. I don't think I've ever signed an Angolan before in career mode, or even in video even. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, that's about to change here with Fabio Abreu. I have no clue, got no idea where he's come from. He's just spawned onto the free agency, and the game's the game. Another baller who, again, I would have had no idea of their existence if they weren't in the free agency. The Nigerian Samuel Adegbenro. The 28-year-old will join us as a backup option and can even do a shift in at striker. Next up, I want to secure a backup goalkeeper just so we don't have to worry about it. It's kind of a set and forget position for me, as Lucas Acosta, the Argentinian shot stopper with an excellent mustache. I must admit, he's probably a perfect candidate for Movember, as we add even more experience to our defensive department, given he's not as old as Raul Albiol, but the Chilean hardman centre back, who will give us a little bit of that South American edge. It's the 30-year-old Branco Ampiero. There's two things Coventry are absolutely loving right now, and that is free agents, of course, and Mexican midfielders. With the number of Mexicans we're stacking up, we could make our own national team. As the gun in his prime, Rodriguez will join us. Carlos comes through as a backup cam. He's another Liga MX's poster boy that we'll take on because it's the only option we have. He's approaching 30, but I'm willing to give him a chance. As the Hungarian Owental signs on the dotted line for Coventry, our last signing, we're going to end off on a high here. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this one. It's Shea Adams. It might not be the best striker in the world, but he's just got Premier League proven experience. He's that type of character we need up front to keep us afloat, and he's got a game face scan. He's stocky, he's built. He looks like he's about to explode out of the Coventry kit, and he arrives for nothing, which is even better. Another man's trash is another man's treasure, people. And look at the type of talent we missed out on. Duvan Zapata, who already agreed to deal with Benfica, and Jamie McLaren. It's much less of a hectic transfer window in comparison to Season 1, but I hope we've just done enough to keep us afloat in the top flight. We're a living virtual example that you don't need money to make it big in football. I've done my best here to implement the freebies and plug them into the starting 11. Only 2 new changes though, as we jet set into Season 2 with only survival on our minds. Not like we're in too much trouble halfway through the season, because goddamn, we're sitting in 5th right now. However, 2 minor free agent opportunities landed at my doorstep, but I couldn't refuse. First up, we have this random Brazilian CDM, Arthur, and it's not the one you're all thinking about, and ex-Arsenal Youth Academy product, Miguel Aziz. The 22-year-old who's been let go of his contract is going to provide us with a little bit more midfield depth. Nothing too wild, but definitely worth reporting on, as we did end up loaning out Ambrosino. Giuseppe heads off to Cadiz just to get a little bit more game time. But other than that, let's hope the free agent ballers can keep up this form for the rest of the season. It's evident that I've clearly underestimated these lads, because they weren't concerned with a relegation battle. They were fighting in the upper echelons of the table, couldn't break into a top 4 spot, but Europa League qualification in their first stint in the Premier League free agents FC see 70 points. In other competitions, they were knocked out early in the FA Cup round 4 to Watford 1-0 and actually made it all the way to a Carabao Cup final, only losing out to United 1-0. So either way, they would have qualified for Europa League football if they won this game, but it wasn't to be. There is still work to do, no doubt about it, but we've got to acknowledge the campaign that was. And the best performers include the top goal scorer, Vega. He can do it in the second tier, he can do it in the first. No matter where you put this Mexican, he is guaranteed to score goals. 29 goal contributions in 47 appearances. Shea Adams, who had limited game time, 10 goals and 4 for the Scotsman. And Sofiane Boufal, 9 goals and 8. It was consistently quite spread out across a few players like Corona, Abreu the Angolan even got in amongst the act, and Gallardo from left back. Chavez had another instrumental season, being one of the main playmakers, 4 goals and 9, and Carlos Rodriguez in and off the bench proved to be a valuable piece of the puzzle. Eric Sanchez sliding in there in the background with 10 goal contributions, and Osman Bukhari proving to be a perfect super sub option. This team, it's coming along nicely. We've got a random bunch of players here as Pepe Ambrosino grew away from home in Spain with a +4. He's still got another year left on that loan deal, because the man who's probably impressed me the most, it's gonna be the Croatian king in between the sticks. Maybe it's something to do with that funky jersey giving him strange powers. 43 appearances, 11 clean sheets, 1 assist even, and a whopping +5 to his overall. The 25-year-old isn't done yet. You never know who you're gonna stumble across in the free agency, and I hope we can land a few worldies come season 3, because fighting on multiple fronts, especially with Europe in the mix, it's gonna be taxing on these players. And I don't know if they've got another dream season in them back to back, so this is gonna be real tough. Now, instead of running you through each transfer one by one, I'm gonna showcase to you guys the transfer haul, because we went absolutely crazy this window. We're giving a boatload of players whose futures are really up in the air at the club, but we're just giving them a chance because there's really nothing to lose here. Now, at this point, I'm just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, because they're gonna be given plenty of opportunities to showcase their talent. We're gonna need the numbers for backup, and Paul Nebel will be our last transfer signing of the entire market, because it has been our biggest spree yet since season 1. We searched far and wide, including Claude Adjapong, the Italian right back who can play pretty much anywhere on the right hand side, Bruno Amione, the 23-year-old Argentine centre half who could potentially be a future first team leader, the Nigerian Kevin Akpoguma, who is going to provide a little bit more experience, well seasoned at 30, and a potential future pairing for our Italian stallion striker up front. It's Yanis Breguawi, the French 24-year-old, and then Tommy Doyle, who's actually a Man City Youth Academy product. Sheffield United let him go of his contract, so we were able to poach on the real face wonder kid. Some more French and Italian talents working their way through here, and it's good to get the youth involved, like Alessandro Fontana Rosa. An Inter Youth Academy talent, they let him go for a free, and the Juventus next-gen gem, Marliake, who has a real game face scan and can be a future first-team baller. Like, to replace the aging Mexicans in the team, we need some reinforcements later down the line, and Andreas Salazar will be a great choice for a backup left back. You can start to see the theme here. No real starters, no real major money moves. Players that are going to provide some rotational options and just extend our depth, like Oscar Urena, Kevin Keben, who can play at right back and centre back, Benkovic, an experienced Croatian. We've already got one superstar, we might as well add another Croat. And last but certainly not least, it is Aridane. I signed this guy simply because of that absolute bird's nest he's got on his head. That Sideshow Bob-esque hair is something I couldn't pass on, and like, I just feel like I got scammed really, because then you see his actual in-game face, and that afro is like a quarter of the size of his real life one. There's no question now that this entire roster is filled with free agents only, and all these signings have taken up our squad size tally to 44, so we're jam-packed at the moment. We're just overflowing with talent right here. I don't usually like having too many players on the roster, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and we're going with a brand new centre back pairing. Other than that, things pretty much remain unchanged as we're diving headfirst into an extremely demanding season 3. Not gonna lie, season 3 might have been a little bit of a bridge too far for these lads, as Coventry down in 12th, a little bit of a slump and entering second season syndrome of the Prem, but at least they are still kind of in that mid-table range. Unless we could have come through in any other competitions, no European football in season 4. Okay, there we go, winning the FA Cup on penalties against Spurs. You love to see it. Chiellini, roll the clip.
Tottenham is the history of the Tottenham.
Pulling through in the big dance with a statement win. The Carabao were unable to attain, but it's our first piece of silverware since that playoff final win in the championship. Our Europa League run actually took us all the way to the final, so we could have had a cheeky double on the cards, losing out 2-1 to Man City in the final. We still get Europa League football, so we get a second shot at glory come season 4. We topped the group. We then went on to beat Inter. We beat AEK Athens, and then again we just keep haunting Spurs. What a run this free agent gang just had, but like everything else other than the league has been outstanding. Maybe it was just the load and the pressure and they got a little bit found out. However, we look to rectify that come season 4, and here is how it all ends. With our top goal scorer, we've got a new king on the throne. Yanis Begraoui has proved himself, netting 21 times with 4 assists, 25 goal contributions, and proving to be a pivotal member in this squad alongside Alexis Vega. 19 goals and 8 for him, Mr. Consistent, and Shea Adams up front, whose time might be coming to an end, as we have the Italian stallion making his way back from loan at Cadiz. He'll be feeling like a brand new signing in up front. Him and Begraoui are gonna cause problems. Luis Chavez in the middle of the park again is just an absolute warrior. We have a lot of these aging season 1 pickups. However, Eric Sanchez is about to enter his prime, so there's a lot to look forward to there. Jesus Corona, the captain, is starting to deteriorate, so we're gonna need some game-changing free agents to pop up come season 4, because it's only gonna get harder from here on out, as our number 1 shot stopper in between the sticks, Labradovic, still remains strong with a respectable 11 clean sheets. Nonetheless, progress has been made, and that's all I care about at the end of the day. That FA Cup win came in clutch, and Sir BCHD gets to continue this free agent experiment at Coventry. They've kept us in the hot seat, and we march on to season 4 with our heads held high. Now, in this campaign, pretty much all of our targets we're aiming for, we're in contention with Europe's elite. These free agents are in high demand, so you already know this is going to be a quality over quantity type market. Every purchase slash investment, I should say, in this window is going to be 80 overall or higher. We're getting in some upgrades, people, and some recruits out of left field. Like, how have these clubs let these kind of players go? First off the bat, Sergio Gomez didn't renew his contract with Man City, and we pounced as the Spaniard joins the ranks over here at Coventry City. 2 absolute defensive Premier League experienced stalwarts, Diego Carlos, the Brazilian tank, and the Great Dane Joachim Anderson, who can't even fit in the bloody frame next to Sir BCHD, but he strolls through the door on a permanent basis. The Ivorian, the ex-Man City Youth Academy talent, Seko Fofana, he's had his fun over in Saudi Arabia. He secured his bag as we rescue him from being unemployed, and we've sent him back to Europe. Here's one of my favorite pickups from this free agent haul. It's Yassine Adli, who's kind of reinvented himself at Milan in real life. He was a wonder kid back in the day on career mode, kind of gone a little bit radio silent in recent years. Hasn't been getting the game time at Milan, and in this rebuild, 4 years deep, Adli is now 80 overall, been let go by Rossoneri. They're getting some crucial deals over the line here, people, and they are not stopping. We're being absolutely ruthless. I want to send out a message, and that is by grabbing a brand new centre forward. It is going to be the Zambian Musabaro. He'll be combining in and up front with a hidden gem I found. I have never heard of this guy before, but he popped up on our radar. The scouts recommended him, and of course he was out in his lonesome in the free agency. It's the Nigerian striker Durosimni. I think I'm saying that right, but he'll slide through with his fellow African teammate up front, Rafiu. Welcome to the club. And last but certainly not least, it's the position in between the posts. The rear guard of the team needed upgrading, and when you see 2 world-class keepers like this ready to be poached for free, Emil Aldero and Yassine Bono, 2 amazing shot stoppers that I think could really help us. Despite him being 35, I think our new Moroccan number 1 is going to provide us with a little bit of stability. A second string, 3rd tier keeper that's 80 overall or higher is always welcome. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, but not even the free agent rebuild can help save Nicola Pepe's career. RIP the FIFA 20 career mode GOAT. It's just another day, another dollar here at Coventry. I know we aren't spending any money, but the salary budget is taking a hit, as it was a historic free agents intake. Here is how our brand new starting 11 is looking. Adli in the midfield, Durosinmi and Barrow plugged into the starting strikers, a new centre back pairing. It's all going on. Vega's the new captain, and here's the backup boys. The second squadron ready to rotate. Now you're starting to see that depth and quality shine through. It looks like we've already already started the season off in the best way possible, launching it with a 3-1 win versus Liverpool in the Community Shield, so Season 4, we're coming for you. Oh damn, okay, it's party time, people. I just simmed straight to the end of the season. I don't know what we've won, though. Okay, that's the Conference League final. Yeah, okay. I don't think it's worth maybe a bus parade. Maybe a West Ham type club would celebrate like this. Considering we haven't spent a cent, the free agents and Sir BCHD deserve a little downtime and deserve to celebrate as we took it out 1-0 in an all-English final versus Chelsea. The Gengen pressing tactic is working wonders, and it's your European champions Coventry City. They've also secured Champions League football for the first time, so we don't have to play in the Europa League again for the 3rd year running. It was a 3rd place finish, racking up 71 points, but couldn't compete up with Man City, the champions, with 83. Not to forget our Community Shield win at the start of the season, and in the FA Cup we made it all the way through to the semis, however knocked out against Liverpool on pens, and over in the Carabao it was a early elimination. Round 3 saw us bow out to Arsenal again on spot kicks. This roster has grown to an unprecedented size of 51. We might have to start trimming some of the fat, releasing a few players, as it was the 2 strikers we brought in over the summer, Musa Bado and Duro Sinmi. The African combo hit the ground running with 47 goals between them, as El Capitano Alexis Vega continues to grow despite nearly hitting 30. He ain't hitting the wall anytime soon. Now Mexican with 21 and 6. Marliake had a breakout campaign for the history books as we converted him to a right winger, the future replacement for Corona, and the Frenchman with 16 goals and 8. That is sublime. His fellow countryman Yassine Adli having a brilliant debut campaign with 15 goal contributions. Both him and Rodriguez running the show at Cam. Jesus Gallardo is aging like a fine wine with 11 assists, being our best playmaker in the squad. Hold my beer because that goes to Luis Chavez actually. 15 clean sheets from the middle of the park. And another one who is just announcing himself as a future first team leader, Fontana Rosa, with 2 goals and 1 from centre back. Some of the free agents just took their opportunity by the scruff of the neck and they understood the assignment, and we have to scroll down pretty far to get to Bono, who was our main shot stopper with 8 clean sheets and 1 assist for the Moroccan. I must admit that this free agents rule that I only can sign real life players is testing me to my limits. It's way tougher than signing random regens and academy players that spawn into the agency. However, at the half-decade mark, we get our first shot at Champions League glory. We can't stop, won't stop right now. Don't even play with us. This is your sign to stop playing with our recruitment methods. We're slowly but surely chipping away, and the first big signing of Season 5 is going to be Mattia Zaccagni, another Italian stallion we're adding into the mix. We beat out the competition Borussia Dortmund, and he's going to provide some great backup for Vega on the left. I know what you guys are thinking now. Sir BCHD, you're out of your mind. You've lost touch. You've signed more 30-year-olds than you have players under 29. As we're introducing Alan Saint-Maximin to the free agents project. I couldn't let the Gucci headband wearing merchant be just completely not even playing football. He'll be balling out here at Coventry no matter what. But trust me guys, let me cook. The youth is about to flow in. Getting the upper hand over our competition Liverpool in signing Giannis Konstantelias, the Greek freak. He's 24, Cam, can do a shift out at right wing, and is the perfect hot prospect for the future. The nationality of player I never really signed. You know, Greeks and Italians, we've got a little bit of beef, a little bit of rivalry, but I'm willing to put that aside to get Giannis on our books. And the absolute dream centre-back partner, they're going to be like Batman and Robin back there. For Fontana Rosa, it's Eric Garcia. We snapped him up just like that as soon as I saw him available, because our track record of signing aging defenders is actually worrying. We don't have any like proper 2 first team centre backs, and now we've officially solved that problem with our man Eric. It's come to that stage where the squad is just getting too full. I've got to start releasing some players. That's going to have a hit on our budget, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Now, if we were able to snag this guy, Kiergaard, he was on a free, but rejected us to join Real Sociedad. That would have been a top tier window. No matter, I'm still proud with the business we were able to achieve. Career mode loves throwing you a little spatter in the works, as we're left with a pretty competent 2 team sheets ready to take down multiple competitions and showcase to their former employers why they should have given them another go. Now the Champions League group, that Oh my god. Oh man. No matter of fixes will help this game. However, their first Champions League grouping, they've been drawn in with Leverkusen, PSV, and RB Salzburg. So a decently challenging group that I'm sure is going to test them. A second place bridesmaids finish in the Premier League might just be a little bit of paper over the cracks here, because look at that points margin between us and City. It is a sizable difference with racking up 68 points. It's Man City versus the rest right now, but at least it's Champions League qualification again. Liverpool did inflict some revenge on us, winning 3-1 in the FA Cup final at Wembley. So domestic silverware has gone begging this season with an early elimination in round 3 of the Carabao United on pens. How did the free agent lads crack on in their first stints of Champions League football? And in Group G, they came through second with 12 points, qualifying for the round of 16, where they were taught a lesson against BVB, dishing out some damage on us after we poached a couple free agents off them. They weren't happy. And the game is the game. Business is business. So we got to touch base with the developments of this team. Through a decent amount of squad turnover, this Coventry squad is turning out to be something special. Someone who has just risen to prominence, it's Marley Ake. Entering his prime, and he's peaking at the right time with 20 goals and 14 assists. The only player, probably the first in the rebuild, to get double figures in both departments. 34 goal contributions for the Frenchman, and Moussa Barrow and Judo Sinmi keep cooking up front. The main protagonists are giving us all kind of cult hero energy, and Alexis Vega just continues to stun. He might just be the free agent GOAT of our times, as Yassine Adli again proving pivotal at cam. We've got Ambrosino off the bench with 9 goals and 11 appearances, and Chavez with a comfortable 16 goal contributions, as the Mexican, his experience provides that calm and wisdom in the locker room. Eric Garcia marked his debut campaign with a goal and a decent bit of growth. Some late drama in between the sticks, as it's Lebrovkic who regains his starting spot as our main shot stopper, overtaking Bono, and Fontana Rosa continues to get better day by day, turning a player that we copped for free into nearly an £100 million valued asset. That is something we need to admire. Look, I'm not begging for it, but it'd be kinda cool if the career mode gods were nice to us in Season 6. This upcoming summer transfer market is going to be a game changer. I can feel it in my bones. I want to manifest it and push these guys into a deep Champions League run. Now at this stage of the rebuild, it's going to take something quite monumental or a major player to be a free agent in order to upgrade any part of our squad right now. Nevertheless, I still got low-key trigger happy, and I wanted to win the transfer market and get some deals over the line. It's quite the low volume transfer window, but there is quality there no doubt, with the centre back signing a brand new starter, Odilion Kosciuszko, the ex-Bayer Leverkusen Ivorian centre half who's in his prime. We've got James McAtee, and I kind of just felt sorry for the lad. Like, there's no way a kid of his talents, homegrown as well, should be unemployed out there in the free agency. And then we have a Jedson Fernandez who could potentially take over one of those two Mexican pivots in the middle, the ex-Spurs midfielder, and then of course the ex-Manchester United Academy talent Amad Diallo. They're not substantial or going to become first team starters, but definitely are finding themselves a role in our second squad. Here in the Champions League, it's calling our name again for the second year running. In Group D, we're drawn in with Napoli, PSV, and Dynamo Kiev, so a very winnable group there. Let's hope the lads can get it together and actually challenge for that holy grail. Oh, you just hate to see it. Come on, man. How on the final day did we fumble? It was last day heartbreak. The free agent gang did well to close the gap on City. We both had 80 points, but it came down to goal difference. English Premier League glory snatched away at our fingertips on the final day. As Liverpool love knocking us out of cup competitions, they did so here in the FA Cup with a semi-final win 3-2, and over in the Carabao, it was actually a loss. The first time we made it through to the final here, and it was 2-1 L to United at Wembley. But the big kahunas arrived, and in 2029, it's a Champions League showdown between Coventry City and Real Sociedad. Yeah, that's how you know we're in too deep. I'm more fascinated with how Real Sociedad got there than how we got there. We still finished up in Group D first, undefeated with 14 points, qualifying to face Bayern in the round of 16. A cheeky little 2-1 win there. We did absolutely dominate PSG, wipe them off the floor in a 7-3 aggregate win. And then in the semis, we refaced Napoli with a 4-2 comfortable display And then Real Sociedad beat Dortmund. They also took down Barca. They're giant killing out here as much as we are. The Basque outfit are on point, and literally tonight's matchup could go either way, but we've got to take a look. Take note of the key players who got us here, and our top goal scorer, it was Musa Barrow the Gambian. 40 goal contributions in total. He went off this season. Demon mode was activated, but Mr. Consistent. It's captain of Free Agents FC, Alexis Vega, with double figures in both departments, 36 goal contributions. As Duro Sinmi was in there amongst it with 18 goals and 3. Marliake, although he did grow a +4, entering that world-class territory, you'd expect a little bit more production from him. 9 goals and 7 assists for the Frenchman. And Yassine Adli, 6 goals and 9. Luis Chavez has been a day one since season 1, 4 goals and 8 for the Mexican, and Ambrosino in and off the bench with 4 goals. We are an anomaly, spending $0 in the transfer market, being frugal with our business, and we have charged our way to a Champions League final. And in between the sticks is our Croatian number 1, only copping 9 clean sheets all season. So you can already see our defense is probably a little bit shaky. With 4 players valued at over £90 million, there was only one magic man that secured the 9-figure club, and that's the Akinator himself with a £136 million price tag. It's Moises' old stomping ground, Xabi Alonso's old stomping ground, and here is the predicted lineup we could be up against. It's the traitor Kayagard, the Great Dane who rejected our offer to join Real Sociedad, and I mean, fair play to the lad. He's got himself a date with destiny, and we want to teach him a lesson. No injuries, no suspensions up in here. This is how our team is lining up of the best free agents over the course of 6 seasons. Hold the front page, hold the back page. It's all going down at the San Siro tonight. Let's hope Vega's gonna grab that glorious trophy, as it's our boy Duro to kick us off. He's coming through hot, and he just parades himself into the box. He cuts it back. It's Fontana also with the block, but it wasn't enough. And Real Sociedad's first chance, it's Mendes to smash it into the bottom corner on the back foot within minutes, and boy, that's a wake-up call.
This is not how this was supposed to go!
Losing this midfield battle, and Fontana Rosa caught out of position but revives himself well. Marliake to try and kickstart a counter-attack. Adli sees Duron Simni in the clear, and the defense all of a sudden has let off. That's the equalizer, baby. Our Nigerian hitman with the biggest of showings. I don't know what kind of celebration that was, but he's hit it. They only needed one chance. We only needed one chance. He was the coolest man in Milan, and just like that, we're back in business. And Fontana Rosa again, who's just been colossal at the back, and these counterattacks is where we can really strike while the iron's hot here. And there are men in the middle. A brilliant ball inside, and it was nearly the second from Duro. It'd be great if we could get a set piece opportunity, Marley. And it'd be rude not to if Adli went to go for it. And we're starting to grow into this game all of a sudden. Kayagard now, rip into him, Eric. That's it. This is why you should have joined the light side, mate. But now Sociedad with the chance to go forward with 1 minute of added time. That would have been the worst time to concede to get us forward into our own half here. Now attacking the space. We've got Duro, finds in Barrow. We've stretched the competition here. Alvarez pushed up from right back. Miscued pass. And now the boys are starting to get sloppy. I usually like it sloppy, but not in this context, boys. Kayagard, immovable off the ball. And now it's inside. Labrovic needed to come out one-on-one. And how has he missed the ball? That is a vital error from our Croatian shot stopper. And it's a Mendes double to poke Real Sociedad into the lead. And a lapse in concentration sees our Champions League's hope diminish. The pressure on, boys. And it's a big tackle from Alvarez, who gets it over to Ake. And now Barrow needs to pick it out, and he does so. Marliake, there's a man free at the back stick, and Marliake finds him. It's an instant response, and he's always there at the right time. Duro, he's strutting his stuff in Milan. He's gone silent ever since he scored our equalizer, and he popped up at the crucial moment. A French delivery sat up on a golden platter, and Sir BCHD says, yeah, that's what the doctor ordered, people. Alvarez needs to catch up to him. Another good delivery inside. Real Sociedad. Takafusa Kubo. What a save. Labrovic has absolutely pulled that one out the hat. After that mistake on the Mendes goal, it's a fingertip save. And now Sociedad with the corner. I hate when they start running into the box. It's scaring me. Can see the run of Marliake. and he wants to power past Kanate, and there's a man free at the back stick. Vega, the headline was written. Kanate clears the ball away. It will go into extra time and potentially penalties. My heart rate, my blood pressure's going through the roof playing this game. Had to make a few changes. Ambrosino on, and Giannis replacing Adley in the middle. Feed it inside to Ambrosino, fresh off the bench. We've got, who is that? Giannis joining the attack. And now the man in the back stick. The man of the hour. It's a hat trick for Dudo. King Dudo. He's written himself into the Coventry City history books. A free agent OG. A free agent star boy who just casually drops a Champions League final hat trick. The super subs combined. The Greek freak lofted the ball inside. And again, these Real Sociedad defenders don't understand this man's danger. The Nigerian prince slots at home, and he's a fox in the box, alright. Now that we have the lead, we're playing with a bit more controlled tempo. Maliake, who cuts inside, another golden delivery, and it could have been the fourth. And we just need to hold on. 1 more minute of added time, and there she goes. Referee blows the whistle. He calls it quits on the Duro Sinmi show. But I hope you had your popcorn at the ready, because that was a scintillating Champions League final. It was the one-man show. But you can't deny that these free agents came together and achieved greatness. And it is possible without signing any regens, no youth academy players, only real world ballers who needed a new job, and we provided that for them. Alexis Vega, who had a quiet night, but he will be representing all those unemployed Mexicans from season 1. The real solid foundations of this team that carried the squad and led them for the future seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below, what are the rebuilds do you want to see on the channel? What are the rules and type of challenges I should partake in to test Sir BCHD's career mode abilities? There's a lot of teams struggling in real life right now. Who should we take over? Who should we rebuild? I'm open ears as we complete the free agents challenge. If you've made it this far, drop the video a like down below, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. As I've been your boy Sir BCHD, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the very next video. Bye bye.